Angela.
I'm Leah.
And we out here.
All right. Hey, y'all. So we wanted to come and share some of our experiences in terms of traveling to Puerto Rico and specifically focusing on whether or not we felt safe there. And when we say safe, we're thinking about some major identities such as being women travelers, being LGBT travelers, being travelers of color, Black people. And then also for some people, when they travel, they want to know whether it's safe for Americans. Now, Puerto Rico is an American territory, but I still think it's important to note as to whether or not it was safe to travel as Americans, English-speaking Americans in Puerto Rico. So the short answer for me is it depends. And then we'll explain why. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. In my opinion, it's generally safe for visitors. It's one of the safer Caribbean islands to travel to. And when I did a quick search, it was said that statistically the crime rates there are lower than many major U.S. cities. But I would say that I would think it kind of aligns with another major U.S. city. So when you think about traveling to a major city, you want to be precautious. And so in that regard, I think it was generally safe.
So I was going to say, to add on to that, San Juan is a huge tourist area, right? San Juan is the major city in Puerto Rico. Most people who go to Puerto Rico are visiting San Juan. In general, I think you should just travel with caution when you go to very touristy places because sometimes people target tourists, right? So usually it's not violent crime. Usually it's just like being robbed or like having your stuff stolen or something. So just travel with caution. We did not experience any of it, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, right? Now, one thing that was really surprising for me is that pedestrians typically have the right of way all the time, even if there's no crosswalk. Like, there were times we were just walking and thinking about crossing the street and cars would stop for us. And then somebody told us later that it was because pedestrians have the right of way in Puerto Rico. Cars have to stop. So even if you don't technically have the right of way, you have the right of way. So that felt pretty safe in terms of crossing streets and things like that. Obviously, you don't want to just go walking into traffic, still be safe. But just know that pedestrians do have the right of way.
To add on to that, in regards to traffic, I'm not sure about the statistics surrounding it, but they're pretty aggressive drivers there. Now, while we didn't get into an accident or anything like that, but I've been to Puerto Rico a few times, and every time they're pretty aggressive with their driving. And so you kind of want to be cautious if you're renting a car there, just knowing that, that might be something to consider. And even when I was in taxis, like the one time I went to Puerto Rico, we went past the police and the taxi driver was beeping at the police to get out the way because he was on the side of the road and I've never beeped at the police pulled over, but he did. And so I was, it just kind of was like, okay, kind of a little bit on the aggressive side with the traffic. But, I always think of that, in regard to safety as well. So.
The next point that I would say is that if you can avoid traveling during hurricane season. Yeah, I say that because hurricane season can be pretty rough on that island. So if you think of some of the major hurricanes that devastated the island, such as Hurricane Maria, you don't want to be on the island at that time, right? So if you can avoid it. If not, travel with caution if you're going during hurricane season.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah.
Another thing that I did notice, there was a pretty good police presence around. Every time I was there, I saw, some police out just viewing the area. And so that kind of made me feel on the safer side. That's really all I had for that one.
Okay. So the next one I have is traveling as LGBTQ. We are a lesbian couple. We are married. But honestly, unless we tell people we're a lesbian couple, most people don't know. They just assume we're friends or we're sisters.
Twin sisters.
Some people say twins. Like, we've had people think that we were twins, which was interesting. So,
yes.
Now, Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. In the United States, There are protections for gay people, so gay marriage is legal. The same translates there. Like Puerto Rico has Pride. The hotel we stayed at, they had a drag show on the beach, right? So you'll see people being openly gay. You'll see gay travelers. It is totally fine. Again, that doesn't mean that you're 100% safe. I'm just telling you that for the most part, you're protected by laws. And socially, it seems pretty acceptable.
Yeah. That was actually part of my next one as well. You kind of covered everything I had to say about it. And like you were saying, I've heard in the past, I know some people from Puerto Rico who are in the LGBT community, and they told me, this was a decade ago, that they are pretty friendly to LGBT community there. And so that's what I was told directly from someone who was from there. Yeah. And so that made me pretty confident that I would be, we would be accepted socially. But like she said, we don't really present as such. So it's hard for me to say from my experience, but that's just what, I've been told in the past.
Yeah.
As a black person, I did not experience feeling uncomfortable there. There are black and brown people there who live there, who are from there. There's a lot of black travelers who go there. And so as a tourist, I did not find it difficult to kind of, meet friendly people. Everyone was, nice, and everyone was willing to serve us as tourists, as vacationers, and I didn't experience any issues with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say that Puerto Rico has a significant Afro-Puerto Rican community, so you should be fine in terms of you're not going to be the first black person they saw. Yeah. Plenty of black people there. We didn't encounter any racialized discrimination on our trip. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. We just didn't experience it. If you are black or if you are any race and you're interested in learning more about Afro-Puerto Rican culture and food, you should visit Loíza or Loíza and Piñones, which are historically black neighborhoods, and you'll find lots of culture there. We went there, had a lot of fun. The food was good in Piñones.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, lots of stuff to do. So, yeah. What about being women? What do you have?
Being women. I did not experience any negativity with that. I'm trying to think if I felt any type of, division between a man and a woman, or, a lack of respect. I did not feel that when I went. I don't know statistically how they treat the women there or anything like that. But as a tourist, I didn't experience anything. How did you feel about it?
I was going to say, for the most part, we felt safe as women in Puerto Rico. We didn't party or go out too often in the evening, so I can't really touch on that. But just being female travelers, we didn't encounter any problems with Ubers, walking on the sidewalks or the beach or anything like that. Of course, you'll get hit on, like we were sitting on the beach and they were Americans.
They were Americans, though.
Yeah.
I think they may have been from, no, I don't think they were even from Puerto Rico. They were Americans. No. I don't know where they were from. I think they were
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but that's everywhere, right? I was going to say, it was just in my head. I was going to say something. We didn't, just in general, we didn't experience any problems traveling as women. If it comes to me before the video ends, I'll say it.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Another thing that made me feel pretty safe is that, of course, it's an American territory, but there were also many English-speaking people. And so with that, it made me feel comfortable that I would be able to speak with someone for help with navigation. It would be easier to communicate, and that kind of makes me feel safer, not feeling like I don't know where I'm going and I don't know who to ask, and being able to interact with the people that were giving the tours or anything like that. So a lot of English speaking people there, which was really good for me.
So even though Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States, the major language they speak there is Spanish, right? As long as you stay in the touristy areas, you'll be able to communicate with people just fine. But if you're going outside of the touristy areas, don't expect everybody to speak English. Yeah. But if you're in the touristy areas, you'll be just fine speaking English. People there will be able to speak English to you. But then some places, if you go outside of those areas, you may or may not be able to easily communicate with people. We didn't have any issues though.
Yeah, I was gonna say we
Because
didn't
we
experience
fluent
that.
in Spanish.
Yeah, yeah. All them
We're
years of Spanish I
absolutely
took.
not fluent in Spanish. We tried to speak a little bit, but not fluent yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yet.
Not yet. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So that's all that I have. What about you?
Yeah, that's the end of my list.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hope this video was helpful for you. Let us know if you're watching this video, what were your experiences in Puerto Rico? Comment down below.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us, did you feel safe? Did you have any issues? Did you have any problems? If you did not visit Puerto Rico yet and you're going, let us know if you have any questions about safety or any concerns that you might have, and we can answer them if we can.
Mm-hmm.
And then also subscribe to our channel. So we post consistent content for our subscribers. Every single Friday you'll get a new video, and then you'll get shorts 3 times a week. So when you subscribe, you get consistent content from us. And then like this video. Let us know if you like the video by liking the video.
The video. How we gonna know, guys?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. Check us out next week.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
It's been sweet
Check us out next week
when we out here
in these streets. Peace.